Hello, my name is John Baumeister, and I'm here to talk about the various upgrades that we have for the Skyartec Wasp Nano at kzalaska.com. The first one we're going to talk about is the O-ring kit. And it's just some simple silicone O-rings that you put in the head of your helicopter, and it really helps with your control. If you are getting the toilet bowl effect with your helicopter, where when you're trying to hover it just kind of goes around in lazy circles, or if it's just not really tracking real well when you're flying and you feel like you're constantly trying to keep up and adjust it with the sticks more than you should need to, these O-rings can really help. What happens with these little helicopters is there's a lot of slop in the blade linkages. When you've got a little cup that your ball link fits into, a lot of times there's some play in those with these little helicopters. They're not real precise. So they're slopping around when you're flying, and when you make an input with the linkage, it takes a while to catch the ball and move it, which is what moves your helicopter. And then when you stop the input, the ball will slam up into it, and that's what kind of causes that general unsteadiness. When you place the O-rings on the ball links, it tightens up that connection. So when the linkage moves, the ball moves. And when the linkage stops, the ball stops. So you get much more precise control. The other kit we sell that works with the Wasp Nano is the head and skid kit. And it's just got little skid nuts in it that you put on the skids of your helicopter so that when you're spinning up, the helicopter doesn't slide around. If you have a problem with that, and your helicopter starts to move while you're spooling up, it changes your orientation, and it can make it tricky getting in the air properly. We also have some tail boom upgrades for the Skyartec Wasp Nano. We sell solid carbon fiber tail booms, which is a really nice upgrade from the hollow ones. They're much more durable. I fly a Blade Nano, and I actually destroyed a tail boom in one day from crashing. But these solid ones last a lot longer. It took me 6 months to break a solid tail boom. We had custom-made 2.5 millimeter square carbon fiber rods made so that we can make the tail booms without having to glue something in the middle like most people do. And the other thing we make is the KZ tail. And that's where we've taken a wire harness and heat shrinked it on, and it's got a quick disconnect here in the back that our plug-and-play motors plug right into. So when your tail motor burns out, you don't have to replace the whole tail boom assembly. You don't have to do any cutting, soldering, heat shrinking, anything. All you do is unplug the tail boom, the tail motor from the boom there, put a new one in, plug it in, you're flying again. We also sell them in two different lengths, both the tail booms and the KZ tails. We sell them in the 125 millimeter, which is standard on the Wasp Nano, and we also sell them in the 140 length. And the reason why you might want to consider going to a longer length tail boom is if you have tail wag issues, where when you're either hovering or even flying forward, your tail just twitches back and forth like it's hunting for its true line. Now on bigger helicopters you can fix that by adjusting the gain in the back for the tail servo. And that just controls the amount of input that the tail servo gets based on your stick movements, and will line out the helicopter when you get it adjusted right. Well, you can't do that with these smaller helicopters because there's no gain control. So what you do is you adjust the length of the lever that the tail motor runs on. And that gives it more torque to compensate for what the main motor is doing. So the longer the tail boom, the more torque, and you can play around with it. And usually people find if they're having trouble with the 125, that 140 does it. It stabilizes the tail and it flies a lot truer. So that's a couple of pretty simple things you can do to upgrade your Wasp. Thank you for watching, and we hope you visit us at www.kzalaska.com. Thanks again.